us emails lagos@study-globally, lagos@study-globally.com, or phct@study-globally.com, phct@studyglobally.com. You can also stop by our offices for people in Port Harcourt and Lagos. We have offices at 25 Church Street, off Salvation Road, Opebi, Ikeja, Lagos, and 33 Thomia Street, opposite GDI, GRA Phase 2, Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Thank you so much and have a swell time.
Okay, thank you, Inse, for that wonderful opening remark. We'll be having a keynote address from our programs manager, Mr. Kachi.
Okay, thank you. Good day, everyone. If you can hear me, I would like to give my keynote address on behalf of our international director, who is unavoidably absent. Chevening is the UK government's international awards program aimed at developing global leaders. Funded by the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office and partner organizations, Chevening offers two types of awards: the Chevening Scholarships and the Chevening Fellowships, the recipients of which are personally selected by the British embassies and high commissions throughout the world. Chevening offers a unique opportunity for future leaders, influencers, and decision makers from all over the world to develop professionally and academically, network extensively, experience UK culture, and build lasting relationships with the UK. So why do many want to study in the UK? The UK, for example, is known to be the home of many of the world's best universities and has internationally acclaimed creative industries that have consistently generated global talents. The UK has a long history of welcoming visitors, as it is one of the most diverse countries of the world because visitors get to be exposed to a variety of cultures. The good thing about studying masters in the UK is that the courses typically last for 1 year, which is shorter than what is obtainable in most of the other countries of the world. Because the UK provides, for example, an environment for students to flourish whilst developing their skills. Remember, it is still the home of the Premier League for lovers of football and other sporting events. Chevening, therefore, is all about the ability of the candidates to submit a strong application that demonstrates how they are capable of excelling in an intense master's course in the UK. At this juncture, I will encourage you all to relax and hear from a staff, which is the program's officer of the British High Commission, Mrs. Oluwafunmilayo Oladepo, who will talk extensively about the Chevening Scholarship. If you have any questions at any time to ask during this session, kindly drop them on the chat box, and during the question and answer sessions, they will be treated. On behalf of the Director of the Study Globally Nigeria, UK, I would like to sincerely welcome you all to this event, and I will urge you to have a swell time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kachi, for that wonderful keynote address. So right about now, we'll be introducing our speaker, the wonderful lady we have in our midst to give us more information on the Chevening Scholarship, how to go about it, because I believe a lot of us wants to go for our studies outside Nigeria by next year. So our speaker, she has a BSc and MSc in architecture from Ahmadu Bello University. She is currently the programs officer for Chevening Awards, British High Commission. So please, with no further ado, can we use our emojis to give a round of applause for our wonderful speaker as we welcome her to take the podium. Ma'am, please. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, so please, Ma, can you take the stage?
Okay, is she still on the call?
Yes, she is.
Okay, madam, I think you are muted. You are muted. Check. You are muted.
Unmute me. Can you
Okay,
unmute me, please? Can you hear me
please.
now?
Yeah,
Yes,
we can hear you.
ma.
There was a
She can now.
problem. There was an issue. I went off for a bit, and when I joined back, I was muted.
Okay.
You
are
can
good
hear
now.
me? Okay, fantastic. So hello, everyone. I mean, it's a real pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me on this session. Mr. Onyekachi has already introduced me and explained where I work, so I don't need to go on and on about that. But I'm very happy to be here. I will be speaking about the scholarship and also the fellowship and the similarities between them and the differences between them. I'm really hoping that by the time I'm done with these sessions that you would have gained a little bit more insight about the scholarship spot. I must assure you that everything you need to know is on the website. All you need to do is study and research and you will get all the information you need. I have a few slides today, which I will be sharing next. I really hope that I will be able to share my slides. I tried them earlier on. I hope that with rejoining, that hasn't caused an issue. So let me try and share them, please.
Onyekachi, stop sharing your slide.
Can you please confirm to me that you can see Mr. Onyekachi?
Yes, ma'am, I can see your slides.
Ah, fantastic. So I'll be talking about what the scholarship is, who it's aimed at, who is eligible to apply, and what the offer looks like. It's a very juicy offer, and a little bit about our alumni, then the scholarships versus the fellowships, a little bit about the application procedures, and what to prepare before applying for the scholarship. So just a few tips, and then our application timelines. Then I will be taking on questions after that. So please feel free to put in your questions in the chat box from now. And once I'm done with the slides, if they haven't answered your question, then we can take your questions. Okay, so the scholarship is the UK government's flagship program, and it enables outstanding leaders to study in the UK. It is funded by the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office. So our offices have merged now. We had DFID before and FCO. They have now merged together to form FCDO. And it is funded by FCDO as well as partner organizations. Partner organizations are usually local organizations in Nigeria or in any country, but for us in Nigeria, that help to sponsor a scholar. So sometimes we have those kind of scholarships. It is aimed at potential leaders who have strong interpersonal skills and great interpersonal and strong academic backgrounds and great interpersonal skills. So that is who we're actually looking for. We need to also check if a candidate is eligible to apply, because during the SIFT, after the applications are submitted, this is what divides the applications into two parts, those who are eligible and those who are not. So you need to check whether you're eligible to apply before putting in your application, so that your application is not just thrown away. So for our eligibility criteria, the first thing you need to know is that you have to be above 18 years old. But you can apply even if you are 50, 58, 60. Last year, we had a lady who was a teacher, I think she was about 58, who was awarded with the scholarship. And it wasn't a fellowship she went on, it was actually a scholarship. So anyone above 18 is free to apply. Then you have to come from a Chevening eligible country. Nigeria is one of the 160 countries where Chevening is present. And so you have to come from one of those countries. You should not have dual citizenship. So for example, if you're a British citizen, or you are part British, part Nigerian, you cannot apply for it. In addition, if you have received UK funding in the past, you would not be eligible to apply. Now, the main thing is you need to have an undergraduate degree. In the past, I've received a lot of questions about whether people with HNDs should be able to apply, whether they're eligible. The truth about it is, it depends on how much you've done after your HND. If you apply to a university and you're able to get a conditional offer, then that means you're good to go. So I would not say people with HNDs are a no-no, but what we usually ask for is the minimum requirement is an undergraduate degree. Working experience is something else we look for in our applications, a minimum of 2 years working experience. But this working experience can be voluntary work, it can be internships, it can be part-time work, it can be full-time work. It depends on how much time you've been able to put in. So as long as you're able to calculate 2,800 hours, I will explain how that is calculated later. That would allow you to apply. You should also check with your universities for English language. It used to be a requirement before underachieving, but that was taken out last year during the COVID pandemic. We had a lot of candidates having problems with writing English language tests. So that was waived last year, and it has still been waived this year. So I think going forward, that will not be our requirement, but you would still need to check with your universities if that is a requirement for you. I think that is as far as the eligibility requirements are concerned. I think that's it. So for our achieving offer, it's fully funded. You don't have to pay for anything. In that way, you don't even have to work so that you can spend time studying while you're in the UK. As Onyekachi said earlier on, it's a 1-year course, so it's very it's a very busy time for the scholars that are there, and so they would need to spend as much time studying as possible. So Achieving allows you to study without having to worry about making any money. There's also a monthly stipend that is given to our scholars to assist them. This stipend covers their feeding and also their accommodation. There are also additional allowances for networking opportunities. So for any events that are organized by the Achieving Secretariat, scholars are given allowances to be able to attend these. I know that there has been COVID, but then I can see that in the UK, some of these restrictions are being let down slightly. So I don't know what it's going to look like this year for the scholars who will be going, but I'm thinking that they would have more opportunities to network face-to-face than the way it was last year, where they had to attend virtual events more than 80% or 90% of the time. Another thing that is covered by the scholarship are the visa fees. You don't have to pay for anything. You don't have to pay for the immigration health surcharge, which allows you to use the NHS when you're in the UK. So that is also covered by this scholarship. And the ticket to the UK and to come back. So those are all covered by the scholarship. Our alumni are about 50,000 globally. And in Nigeria, we have 1,300 of them plus. I cannot name all of them here, but notable alumni are Mr. John Momo, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Channels Media Group. We have Mrs. Toki Mabokunje, who is the President of the Lagos Chamber of Law and Industry. We have our very own Emir of Zaria, my Emir from Zaria, His Excellency Ahmed Nuhu Bamali. And then we have our president, our present president of the Achieving Alumni Association. His name is Mr. Kester Osahenie, and he's the Senior Manager Trade Comms for MTN. So those are our alumni. Now we can go into the scholarships versus the fellowships. So I already explained to you what the scholarships were earlier on. The difference between the scholarship and the fellowship is that the scholarship is a 1-year course, while the fellowship is usually for a period of 6 months, or maybe just a little bit more than that. And it is more on research. Is different from a study university degree. and it is focused on mid-career professionals, people who already have probably an MSc already or any other academic qualifications after an MSc. So that is focused on mid-career professionals. And as I said, the period of time is for 6 months. The work experience for fellowships is a lot longer. It is about 5 years, at least the minimum is 5 years or more. So those are the major differences between the two programs. So everything else applies. They are also covered by everything is fully funded. So there's no difference really between the two of them, apart from these differences. I was saying earlier on that the work experience, I would explain how that is calculated. So usually we take an average of 35 hours a week when we're calculating work experience. And then in a year, we have 40 weeks. So that adds up to 1,400 hours in a year. And so for 2 years, we will be looking at 2,800 hours. And for 5 years, we'll be looking at 7,000 hours. So I would say basically that's what the fellowship is totally different, slightly different, but it's the same thing basically with the scholarship. Next, we will be looking at the application procedures. So it's like a straightforward online application form. I don't know how many people here have applied for visas in the past. It's very similar to a visa application form. So you register, a link will be sent to you, and this link will allow you to navigate in and out of the application form. You can save a draft as you go along. So it is only when you are certain that you have completed the application that you can click on the submit button. And once you submit, you will get an email from the Secretariat telling you that they have received your application. When you are preparing to submit your application, you need to ensure that you have readily available, your personal details, your contact details, your educational background, your certificates. They should all be handy because you're going to upload them at some point. Then your work experience, you would also have sections where you have to complete your work experience. And as I said, it will calculate it according to hours. Your references are also very, very important. The references usually we ask for are 2 references, academic references and professional references. At the point where you're submitting your application, you do not need to submit your reference letter. That doesn't mean you shouldn't apply for it, but it is not mandatory that you submit it before the 2nd of November, which is when the application portal closes, or you need to have started the process at least. I think the deadline to submit the final reference letter is February of next year, but please check the website to be clear on the actual date. Finally, the application form requests the applicant to write four main essays. And these essays would be on leadership and influencing. The second essay would be on networking. The third essay is on your career plan. And finally, the study in the UK essay. So those are the 4 major essays that you will be asked to write about. I guess now I can just give you a few tips on what I think would make a very good application. First of all, when you're writing your application, you need to tell your own story and try not to lie, try not to use someone else's idea, because if you are shortlisted for interview, you would not be able to tell that lie confidently because it is not your own story. You have to ensure that you've read and understood the questions in the application form to know how to answer them. Your answers should be clear and concise with relevant examples. And when I say relevant examples here, I'm talking about examples that highlight your strengths, examples that show how you've been able to to express yourself above someone else, or how you have been able, maybe in your leadership and influencing essay, you would be speaking about how you've been able to lead and influence maybe a team. It will depend on the example that you're giving. You also will need to remember that you can save your application, as I said earlier on, as a draft. And sometimes you can work offline, because sometimes data can be a problem for us. So you can work offline, then when you are sure, you can go and paste it into the application form. Applying for your university courses on time is very, very important. I actually have witnessed this year someone who, because he did not have his unconditional offer letter before the deadline, which would be the 14th of July of next year. So this year, I think it was the 15th of July. And unfortunately, he didn't get his unconditional letter on time. So we had to reject the award. He could not carry on with the scholarship. And that was very sad, because it had been such a vigorous process, and he had gotten to a point where he could not submit an unconditional letter. So normally what happens is we ask you to apply for to 3 universities, or for 3 courses. And once you have a conditional offer, then you begin to proceed to get the unconditional offer, because you only need 1 unconditional offer by the deadline. So sometimes, even though you can only use 1 university in your application form and 3 different courses, it would make sense to have a backup and have your second choice and your third choice in universities, just in case. I'll keep on saying we need to be mindful of our deadlines. So please be mindful of the deadline. It's really important that you do not find yourself submitting your application on the last day, because we could have internet issues, anything can go wrong, and you will not be able to submit. And Chevening are very strict with their deadlines. Completing application in stages, which would mean that you would start one section of the form. You find that you need to go and get some more information. You can save a draft, go back, come back. As soon as you have more information, you go back into it. I talked about the referees as well, but then that date actually is for the 3rd of November 2021. So if you have your reference letter, you can upload it before the deadline. But if you don't have it, you can still submit it before February of next year. There are also priority areas in Nigeria, which sometimes are helpful when you're writing your essays. If you want to tie your essays with Nigeria priorities, you can follow UK in Nigeria on our social media channels, either on Instagram, on Facebook. Well, there's a Twitter ban now, so I wouldn't want to encourage Twitter use. There's also global goals. You could tie your essays to global goals, or the 17 SDGs that are available. It will depend on your industry and what it is that you're trying to do in the future. And then, as I said, you visit the website for more information, because there's a limit to how much we can discuss here. So this is just to show you what our application window looks like. So once the applications close on the 2nd of November, the applications are sifted against eligibility criteria in the UK. So we have nothing to do with the sifting of the applications in the first instance. So once they are sifted, a long list is sent to us in Nigeria, and that long list is now resifted through a process in the Lagos and Abuja offices, and then we now reduce that long list to a short list, and those candidates are now called for interview. That is usually done in February. After the candidates are notified, then we have the interview period between March and May. Sometimes we have face-to-face interviews, and then for some people who request, we have virtual interviews. But I think candidates usually prefer to attend face-to-face, but it's in exceptional cases that we have virtual interviews. Then our results are announced in June, and then by July 2022 next year, applicants would begin to receive their final award letters, which allows them to go to start their application processes. They would have to apply for their confirmation of acceptance of studies from their universities. And after that, they can submit their visa applications. And by September, they begin to arrive in their various universities. So that's it for our timelines. Those handles on this page, on this slide, are the different websites for our website, our Facebook page, our Twitter account, Instagram, as well as LinkedIn. So that brings me to the end of the slides presentation. So I will stop sharing now and take any questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma, for that wonderful section. I believe I speak for everyone. I say we've learned a lot, like we're more informed about the scholarship procedures and how to go about it. So we have a whole ton of questions here. So please forgive me if I do not ask your questions. We're looking at time here, and I'll be taking quite a number of questions, but I'm not very sure it's going to take all. So our first question is from Awal Ibrahim. He says, I have been having a challenge finding the UK and Chevening, finding what the UK and Chevening is doing in Nigeria concerning the energy sector and the carbon capture and storage research. Please, can you point me to anything you might know about this?
In all honesty, I think that would be one of our offices in Lagos. But then, because of the challenges with fossils and things like that, I think we haven't been making that much of our priority this year. Our major priorities this year would be on mutual prosperity. That's our shared economic prosperity. Also, sustainable agriculture, which is, we can tie climate change to it. Governance and stability. Demographics, as well as human capital. And then we have soft power and diaspora. But that doesn't mean that your essay must align with our priorities. No, it just depends on if they actually align with our priorities that you can tie your essays to it. I mentioned earlier on that we have global goals, we have the SDGs. There's so many things that are happening around the world. It is how you intend to solve a problem in a specific area. So, I mean, you don't have to link it with something that isn't there. If there's a problem in your community or in your area and you want to resolve this problem, then you need to explain to us in your essay how you intend to do this. Probably with your career plan, that would be the essay where you would want to highlight this.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ma. I believe that has answered his question. So we have another question from Latifat Oguntoye. Said, please, is NYSC part of ours for work experience? Also,
yes.
Okay. Also, if you are going for MBA, is it compulsory that you must be in line with BSc? Can you study something different from BSc?
So we're going for a master's. It's not a BSc, so it's a postgraduate course. Okay, do you mean in line as in the same course you did before and it has to be in line with that?
Yes.
It doesn't have to be in line with that. It could be that you are doing something entirely new and entirely different. But as long as you are able to show us how you are making the switch, because I can use myself as an example. I studied architecture, then I went into visas and immigration, and then now I'm the Chief Name Programs Officer. And then I do a little bit of education on the side. So for example, if I wanted to go and do something in international development, I would be able to use my experiences over the years to tie it to why I need to do this switch. So it will depend on your own circumstance and why you feel there is a need to do this, to make this switch.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. So our next question says, if I currently work in UK but do not have a citizenship yet, can I apply for the fellowship program?
Sorry, I need to hear that question again. You work in the UK?
So if I currently work in the UK but do not have a citizenship yet, can I apply for the fellowship program?
So as long as you're Nigerian, yes, you can apply for it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, so please, are there specific schools that accept shivering or all UK schools are eligible? Then
I don't, okay, sorry, I didn't know there was a second part to the question. Sorry for interrupting.
Okay, so is an MBA a qualified degree? That's the second part.
Any degree is qualified. All you just need to do is you need to check to see what universities are available on the website. There are quite a number of them. I don't know how many they are. You have to research them to know which of the universities you would want to apply to.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So says for those who are not working at the moment, would the academic references suffice?
They're not working, but they already have their work experience from before.
Well,
sorry, can you clarify?
The person didn't state, just said for those who are not working at the moment, would academic references
No,
suffice?
it will not suffice as long as you add the work experience, as long as we can see that you have 2 years minimum. So that will make you eligible, whether you are working or not at this moment.
Okay, ma'am. So in other words, what you're saying is if you've worked for over 2 years, like you have over 2 years of experience, your references should be from your work section, not from academic.
No, I said you should have one. You should have one work and one academic and one professional.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, so we have a question from Nnamdi Okonkwo. He says, for medical professionals such as doctors, pharmacists that have a mandatory 1-year internship, which is done after graduation, is this internship program considered as part of the work experience or not?
Unfortunately, it is not, because it is part of the final degree. So we will not count it. Anything that is part of that, part of a degree is not added as work experience, because you have to do it. So it is if you do something separately, maybe something part-time or even something full-time after that.
Okay. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Does that answer the question?
Yes.
So.
Okay, so we have one more. It said, how do we make our application more attractive and be able to compete with so many applicants?
I would say there are quite a lot of things to this question. It will be truthfully about your experience and your story and how you tell it. First of all, I mean, when you are writing your essay, you have to be specific. I think I said that earlier on, and you have to have relevant examples. You also have to show your expertise in your essays, and then you also have to identify your strengths. So, I mean, your strength in one area could be a little bit stronger than someone else's strength in another area. So it will depend on how you sell yourself, because this is a competition. It's about blowing your own trumpet. It's about making your story as realistic. In fact, it's the truth, but it has to be a realistic story that we will believe. And then it has to show how, for example, if you're writing on the leadership and influencing essay, how you have led in a particular situation or in many situations. It depends on how many examples you're able to fit into those essays, because the word count is a minimum of 300 words and a maximum of 500 words. And then also your manner of writing the essay. There you can use, for example, the STAR approach, whereby you have to highlight the situation, where the problem actually that you solved, the task, and then mainly the action points. That is where you amplify what you have done as an individual. And then finally, what was the result of you doing this particular action? Or what were the positive outcomes? Or what was the lesson that you learned in that instance? So it would be how you sell yourself, really. And then your grammar too has to be very good. You can't make mistakes, serious grammatical errors in an essay. Even after writing your essay, you read it and you read it over and over again. You should be able to ask someone, your family member, your friends, to be able to check and see whether you have made any errors. It's always good to have a second eye or a third eye when you're submitting these essays.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. So based on popular demand, please can you reconfirm, is NYSC part of work experience?
Yes, it is.
So I believe all the persons asking that particular question have heard the answer. Okay, so I'll be taking 3 more questions before we round this up. So someone says, if you have a core career and a social impact project too, that is quite different from each other, should you focus on one for your essay?
So as I said earlier on, it depends on what you think your strengths are. Where do you think you did better than the other? Because you have many examples. Most times when you want to write an essay, you sit down and you start highlighting areas where you think you've made an impact. So what you're doing in this case is that you are looking at all your examples and you're looking at which one you think will sell more. How will this example be most attractive? You will choose the example that will sell more. So it will depend on you, really. And then also on other people. As I said, it's good to have a mentor. It's good to have people look over your examples and they will say, oh, I think this one is a better example. I think this example portrays you better. It shows your strengths more than the other example. And if the word count allows you to write as many as 3 examples, you can, but it depends on how good you are at writing and how you intend to portray that information and ensure that each of the examples you're able to highlight the action points in there and the final results.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma, for that. And I believe that they've gotten the answer to that question. So this is my second to last question. Say, does the scholarship fund a dual master's degree?
That's 2 masters.
Yeah, a dual master's degree. Some people go to school and then they actually do dual courses. Like the master's program is kind of like branched, so you get 2 degrees from that course.
No, it does not. It's not eligible. I mean, no. It's a 1-year master's course for 1 course. Out of the 3 choices that you submitted, it will be 1 out of the 3.
Okay. Thank you, Ma. Okay, so I'll be taking the last question. Says, can we get reference letter from firms where we've had our internships?
So, I mean, it will depend on you. We've told you to submit an academic and a professional one. So it depends on where you think. So sometimes it depends on how long you've been working in a particular place. You would sit down and you would reflect on the different organizations you've been at, and then you think about the one that will be able to write the most about you, about your personality, about your performance at work. So it will depend on you, really. The choice of the organization that you are going to use will depend on you. It depends on how much, what your relationship has been like with that company or organization.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. This will come to an end of this question and answer section. So for those who still have more questions, please reach out to Study Globally Nigeria to forward your questions to Madam Ladipo, and then she would give the feedback to Study Globally to reach out to you, because we have your details and then we can forward you the answers to your questions. Please remember that the services from Study Globally are free of charge. So you can reach out to Study Globally to help you with your application process in terms of getting admissions to the UK universities, which are partner universities for the Chevening Scholarship. So in case you're confused on which school to apply to, that is a partner university with the Chevening body, so just reach out to Study Globally and then your application process will be made easy. So please, I'll be inviting Pauline to take the photo session.
Queen,
Please, sir?
sorry, Queen, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Just very quickly to Madam Ladepo, a follow-up question. I see some questions, just one or two. The person that asked about that while working in the UK, but is not a UK citizen, why one of these questions comes up many times? Because I learned that for Shimlin, you have to come back to Nigeria. I don't know if you can really explain a little bit on that. So I think what he's trying to ask is that after doing the master's degree, can he or she continue to stay in the UK, or he or she have to be back in Nigeria?
Okay, so that's a different that's a different question. So we have a requirement to come back home and make impact in your own country for a minimum of 2 years before you can go back to the UK. I know that quite a number of people are very confused, especially with this new graduate route that has been announced. Unfortunately, if you are going to take up the Chivnin Award, you're going to have to sign that you have to come back after the 1 year and stay in Nigeria for a minimum of 2 years. And the thing about it is, once you have your footing in the UK, if you feel that you want to go back, there's the skilled worker route, which is available, and you can apply for that to go back. And that skilled worker route is like a work visa, and you go and you can stay on in the UK with that.
Okay. So because many people are asking that, I hope that is clear for many people, and also maybe Study Globally can put that in context and still try to push it across the social media spaces. The last one again is for the person that is asking about dual course. It may not exactly be a dual course. It may be a course, for example, we'll say petroleum engineering, and some schools will now have and data analytics. It's a combined ons.
Yes, I understand that, but we do not do that. Okay. It's one out of 3 courses, and that each of the 3 courses could be in any 3 universities or just 1 university. So when you are completing the form on the portal, you will find the different drop downs where you can insert the 1 course. So maybe you choose University of Sussex and you choose international development, and that is the 1 course. So you cannot say international development and something else. We do not have dual courses. It's 1 course.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think that's it for me. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Engineer Bada. Thank you, Ma. I really appreciate your openness and willingness to give us those informations. So please, let's have the photo section. Please, can we turn on our camera so that we can say cheese and smile to the camera? Thank you. Mr. Kachi?
You have to stop sharing.
Okay, Ma, please, can you stop sharing your slides? Okay.
I thought I had done that. It's not mine that is
okay,
up.
so no hers.
Kachi.
Yeah.
Stop sharing.
I can hear you. Okay.
Stop sharing your slide.
Oh, perfect. Please, let's put on our smiling face while this is being done.
Mr. Kachi, are you done?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you very much. Please, can we move on to the next session?
Yes.
Okay, so please let's go to the announcements from Simeon, who is
Okay,
representing our...
sorry, Queen, just from SP, because I know after this one is studied globally, from Society of Petroleum Engineers, Port Harcourt, we really appreciate Madam Ladipo for this enlightening session. We appreciate Study Globally also for collaborating with Society of Petroleum Engineers Port Harcourt session. So for more information, I think you can go into the Study Globally social media spaces that Study Globally Nigeria, but of course for Society of Petroleum Engineers also Port Harcourt session. If you put it in any of the social media spaces, you will get it, which is Society of Petroleum Engineers Port Harcourt session. So thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Bada. Simeon, please, can we have the announcements?
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you also to our presenter. And also I want to use this medium to also appreciate Study Globally for this presentation. Okay, very quickly, we'll just brief you about SPE. SPE is a Society of Petroleum Engineers. We are not-for-profit professional association, and our mission is to collect, disseminate, and exchange technical knowledge concerning the exploration, development, and production of oil and gas resources and related technology for the public benefit, and to provide opportunity for professionals to enhance their technical and professional competence. Just as you can see on your screen, here in Port Harcourt session, we are the second largest in Nigeria, covering about 6 states. We have a student chapter 13, and also our membership strength is growing day by day. So from the next line, you can see our 2021 award chairs. We bagged the SP Presidential Award for an outstanding section, and also all-round regional technical discipline award held by our members. And also we have a standing young members award held by our members also. Our students are not left out. We have a student chapter award also from our various student chapter. And also, as you can see on your screen, these are several benefits you can get from being a member of SP. You have the SP online education, you have the One Petrol, SP Connect, the JPT, and also you can volunteer in several capacities being an SP member. You can go to the next slide. Okay, these are social media handles. You can connect with us in any of the social media handles. Just type SP Port Harcourt session and you will find us there. You can also send us an email, sppac@gmail.com, and we'll reach out to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Simeon, for those announcements. Please, can we have the closing remark? Mr. Kachi?
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. On behalf of Study Globally Nigeria and on behalf of the Society of Petroleum Engineers, I have the honor to give the closing remarks again. Since the beginning of the year, when Study Globally entered into the Nigerian markets, we've been faced with some challenges, and one of such challenges has to do with many of our clients demanding for scholarships. So we realized that not many Nigerians are privileged to afford the high tuition fees in the UK, for example. And as such, we have been at the forefront looking for scholarship opportunities for many. So it's a good thing today that one of such scholarship opportunities is what the Chevening Scholarship is all about. And I'm pretty sure many of us are leaving to this webinar happy as they are armed with the resources to nail the scholarship opportunity, largely due to the way and manner our guest speaker, Madam Oluwafemilayo Oladepo, has handled this session. It will be our utmost joy to see many of us realize our dreams of studying abroad. And that's why Study Globally is here to stay. So what is the Study Globally advantage, if you may ask? We are an international organization that provides free independent advice and guidance to international students who are applying to the UK, USA, Canada, and other countries of the world. We will help you process your applications and also secure admissions for you in your choice school. We will also assist you in securing job placements for you while you are studying, and this we do at relatively no cost. What then do we ask of you? These are the documents we always require anytime you call on us. So these are important even as you're looking for admission or you want to engage yourself by getting this scholarship. So you need the following documents to present to us. Number one is international passport. You need to have the scanned copy of international passport that has not expired. So if it has expired, you make sure you get it renewed. You also need to have your academic transcripts. It's so important that you need to contact your school to help you with the academic transcripts if you've not done so. So these are the documents you need to prepare yourself with before you can say you want to apply for admission to any university of the world. So you need international passport. You also need your academic transcript. You also will be needing your degree certificate. So you need to contact your school. If you have not gotten that, please go and get that. So you need your degree certificate. It could be HND, it could be your BSc, as the case may be. You also will need 2 academic reference letters, but I think we're accepting one professional one. That's one for your workplace, and the other from that's your university or from your higher institution. So you need to get 2 academic reference letters or one academic reference letter and the other one from your workplace. But you must understand that these letters must be written on a letterheaded paper. So it's very important that these letters are written on a letterhead from the school or from your workplace. You also will be needing English language proficiency. Just like Madam Ladepo did to tell us that though it has been, that aspect has been removed from the scholarship achievement, but for admissions to any of these universities, particularly in the UK, you will need your English language proficiency exams like your IELTS, your TOEFL, but there are some schools that actually accept your WAEC results. So if you can show, for example, that you have a good degree, good score in your WAEC English, for example, you have maybe C6 in English and above, you are good to go. Some schools actually accept that. So also you will need an updated CV. You need a CV that actually outlines what you have been able to achieve in the last few years. And also you will be needing a statement of purpose. Statement of purpose, we have done is webinar on this in the past. You will need that. It's actually about selling yourself. It's your motivation letter. It's actually to convince the admission selection committee on the reasons you will need that admission. So it has to be winning. It has to be written excellently well. So we have that opportunity even with us in Study Globally to help you to draft one that is professionally done, but it's at a fee. Mind you, every of our services are actually free of charge. But if you will need us to do all these other premium services, like to help you get your reference letters, you need to pay a fee. If you want us to help you also process your transcripts, also we can help you. You need to pay a fee. If you want us to help you to draft your motivation letter, which is the statement of purpose, it's also at a fee. You can contact us even after now for further details. So at this juncture, once you have all these complete documents, you can reach us by mail. You can call us on phone. You can reach us by mail. You see our chat box showing you the email addresses available. You can visit our offices in Port Harcourt and also in Lagos. And you can also check us on our website, www.studyglobally, that's study-globally.com/Nigeria for more information. So I wish you the best of luck in all your endeavors. And I want to thank you for joining us in this event. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kachi, for that wonderful closing remark. Pauline, please, can we have the vote of thanks?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
On behalf of the entire team of Study Globally Nigeria, led by Mr. Onyekachi Igwe, we sincerely appreciate the guest speaker, Madam Oluwafunmilayo Oladipo. It's an honor and privilege to have you share with us a well-articulated reservoir of knowledge on the key topic today. Also, thank you to all the participants for attending the meeting and further engaging throughout the sections, and to Society of Petroleum Engineers Port Harcourt section for collaborating with Study Globally Nigeria by providing their platform to host this webinar. Study Globally Nigeria is a dedicated indigenous educational consultancy. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Please go ahead.
Okay, Study Globally Nigeria is a dedicated indigenous educational consultancy, providing a one-stop solutions to all your international educational needs. Why choose us? List of recommended and the most top-ranked universities in UK, Canada, USA, and Australia. Review of your personal statement of purpose, provides guidance on the application procedures, free consultancy, guaranteed offer letter, guaranteed visa. Kindly visit our website at www.studyglobally.com/Nigeria. You can also check any of our social media pages on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We will continue to get relevant provisions to all the applicants. I want to especially appreciate my team for an incredible and selfless involvement to finish the task, making this webinar a reality. Once again, a very special thank you to our guest speaker, my madam, for honoring my invitation, and to the participants for being so attentive to every detailed information shared. Watch out for our next webinar, promises to be worthwhile. And apologies for the questions. There are more questions we are supposed to answer, but we will share them with you. We have our email address. We have your email address and your contact, so we'll get it across to you. Thank you very much for listening.
Okay, thank you very much, Pauline. So considering the questions that needs to be answered, so for direct questions, most of them will be sent to your mail, while for further inquiries, you can visit our social media pages. We are very active online, especially on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. So you can reach us online and then communicate with our publicity agents, and you can ask your questions. You can check our online platform and then get answers to all your questions. For your admissions processes, this is free of charge. I mean, you can't get this way elsewhere. So to have someone that would run your admission processes, make sure that your admissions are guaranteed 100%, just visit Study Globally Nigeria. On that note, we'll be taking the closing prayer from one of our participants. Please, can we have someone who is led by the Spirit of God, to please lead us in a closing prayer?
Any of the participants can unmute him or herself, please.
All right. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Okay.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Let us pray. Hello. All right.
Yeah,
in
go ahead.
Jesus' name. Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for this very wonderful opportunity, and also want to thank you for the organizers of this program, for the wisdom to organize this, for the betterment of the teeming populace that are interested in furthering their career. Lord, we ask that, Lord, may grant them more wisdom, more resources as they continue to do this. We officer who made that time to be able to be with us today here. We ask the Lord strengthen this organization and grant them all blessing. This we ask, believing on a great success for every participant and for every.
Hello?
Yeah, amen.
Okay. Amen. Amen. I'm sure the host of heaven have heard all the prayers. In Jesus' name, amen. So thank you very much for attending this monthly webinar. We look forward to having you in our next month's edition of the Study Globally Nigeria's educational webinar. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Study Globally. Thank you, SP.
Study Globally.
Thank you, Globally, and SP Commercial.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.